Okay, so we're back at it with Blue, the V10 Silverado. Purpose today was get it ready to have some coolant in it. Just hose water right now because we're in the testing phase. I cheaped out on one thing and I knew better, and of course it leaks, and that is this cheap Amazon special vent system for the heads. You can hear it leaking right there. I'm not sure how many fittings are leaking, but I'm pretty sure that the vent itself right here is leaking, and I know for a fact that that one down there is leaking. But other than that, I can't run the truck for too long because idiot me didn't hook up the ground on that Deutsch connector for the fans. So good thing is Terminator is switching the relays like it's supposed to be, so they would come on if there was a way for electron flow to pass through the negative and back through the fan and the positive and all the good happiness. Other than that, a few other things that we're going to hopefully take care of, probably since I'm going to take the intake off, and that is tap this with the 1/8 inch NPT, fill it in, and we got a cooling tank, overflow tank, 2 liter in this case, and of course it's black. And I know people are, all about, oh, we're gonna be a ricer. I don't care. I'd rather have it look mildly okay than stand out and be brushed aluminum or, God forbid, chrome. So I've seen all of the pictures of people installing these, and only one person, a Chevy man, realized that, look, they are drilled and tapped exactly the same on each side. So what does that mean? That means you don't have to use it the way it comes out of the box. Set it up the way you want. The most important thing is this bottom vent or this bottom vent or this bottom vent. One of those needs to return back to your radiator. One of these can have a filter on it to be a vent because the cap is not vented, and that way when everything heats up, thermal expansion happens, coolant expands, thermostat opens, everything flows, everything's going to fill up into your expansion tank. But then when everything cools down, all the molecules of the coolant cool down, guess what? A vacuum is created inside the system, and it's going to suck past your radiator cap back into the system. Hopefully any bubbles you may have had, any air pockets came out as well. If you don't set that up that way, it won't work. So it has to have a vent, and it must be able to suck from the bottom of the tank, which means it needs to send to the bottom of the tank. So this line right here has to go to the bottom of the tank. While we're here, we might as well fire them up again real quick, because this is the first time with water, and it's the first time that the coolant temp sensor is actually reading reality. I mean, yeah, it's reading what Bank 1's doing all by itself, but that's it. A little fuel pump action. Right now the fuel pump is set for a little long, and that's just because I wanted it to prime for a long period of time. I think it's at like 4.5 seconds. That's a little aggravating at times, but I can change all that right here. Actually, I don't even need to take it out of the handheld. I can do it all in the handheld. Here we go. The alternator kicked in, as you can see. That's good. We did have a little bit of voltage drop. I'm going to check on that. It could also be the fact that the battery is bad. And remember that the alternator's regulator is only going to try to regulate to what the battery is. So it only knows this is basically the voltage that I have, so this is what I'm going to regulate to, unless the voltage sensing line is hooked up. So here's a little view in here. Probably going to take the idle down a little bit more, just to see, we can get all 112 LSA out of this cam. I mean, that's about right, but I know that it could be a little rowdier, which is fine. I mean, this is not a race truck. This is just a daily at this point, so it's what can I live with. Torque converter is a 17 I think to 1900 or 2100 stall. So we are fine on that aspect, the operating range of this cam. Something squealing up there, I'm not really sure what, but best funnel ever. Somebody sent one of these, I think, to Cleus McFarland, and I saw that and I was like, that's freaking awesome. So I haven't been without one since then. That's where we're at. Still got to build a mount to hold the intake tube. Not bad. A lot of people. Let me turn this off real quick. There's some Spectre mounts that a lot of people had been complaining about because the way they're designed, they're actually designed as the same OD as the pipe that they're made for. So 3-inch, then it's the same as a 3-inch pipe. So you'd have to put a clamp on one side along with another piece of silicone coupler, and then do the same thing to the other side, which is aggravating. The last thing you want is another place for a leak. So I bought one, of course, but I'm not going to do it that way. So the plan is going to be to cut this bad boy and expand it just enough to where it's outside of the pipe, and then probably use the really big hose clamps that I used for the intake in the first place. Since we're not doing any boost on this application, that'll be the next one. Don't worry. And just let it clamp down over it, hold it in place. It comes with other brackets. So there's a couple of different 90s in there, and then a long one right there. Let's see, like these LEDs will mess up the camera now. There's a couple of different 90s and stuff like that, so we can actually make it mount up to the frame. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna try and keep up with comments and questions better than normal, so post down below if you got any questions about what's been done. I'll do my best to respond to you in an intelligent manner, but if not that, definitely a timely or more timely manner than usual. And we're gonna keep going with this. Have a great day.